Thank you so much. What's everybody watching right now? I'll start with Peter Schiff.
Well, I was just watching your interview with Mark Zandi, and again, it typifies what's wrong with the economic thinking. This stimulus is actually a depressant. And, according to Mark, an economy grows because people spend money. He's got it completely backwards. He's got the cart before the horse. An economy grows because of production, and production is made possible by savings. And so what we need to stimulate the economy is more savings, which leads to more production. We don't want more spending. We don't want the government spending money. We don't want consumers spending money. They've spent too much. Unfortunately, the act in the short run of not spending is going to mean that we're going to have a more severe recession right now. But it's extremely necessary because we're broke. This stimulus bill, all the infrastructure spending, we are too broke. We can't afford to spend money on infrastructure. That doesn't improve the economy. You need a productive economy to afford infrastructure. We can't afford it right now. We need to build factories. We need to make stuff. And the only way we're going to do that...
We need people to buy the stuff that we're making?
No, we need to sell the stuff abroad. Americans have too much stuff. We've been buying stuff for years we couldn't afford. We need to pay back our bills. We need to get out of this hole. We need to make stuff and export it. That's what we need to do.
Listen, I do agree with so much of that. Robert Gray.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel like George Carlin. I need a place for my stuff. But anyway, I'm watching the home builders up here, Liz. They're getting a jump here. Barclays Global Fund Advisors, by the way, announcing they've taken stakes in a number of them, including Beazer, Syntex, D.R. Horton here. Passive stakes. So we're talking about, sort of 8% stakes in these companies. Pretty sizable, these coming from SEC filings.
Yeah, look at those home builders today. Sandra Smith, what are you watching right now?
Yeah, Liz, when it comes down to it, these retail sales numbers for January were dismal indeed, but some of these retailers are rocking right now. Taking a look at Walmart, Target, Macy's, all three of these companies beat expectations. They're definitely finding a way to get that penny pinching consumer through the door. Why? How big sales? You've seen the signs out there.
That's the last thing we want. We want to keep the consumers at home. We don't want them going back to the stores. We don't want them opening up their wallets and reaching for their credit cards. They need to put their money in the bank.
Peter, unemployment may go, if we do allow that, to 14, 15%.
It's going to go higher if we interfere. The only way we're going to have productive employment is to allow the private sector to create it. We don't want jobs so we can work. We need productive jobs. Everybody in the Soviet Union had a job. They all worked for the government, and they were all flat broke. We're headed in the same direction. You guys are watching things in the market. You ought to watch gold. Look at gold today, up another $15. I think around $920 an ounce. It's not going to be below $1,000 for long. And if we keep pursuing these policies, it's going to 5,000. It could go higher.
You're buying gold stocks, gold miners, all of these.
Yeah, interesting. The gold stocks, a lot of the gold stocks I own got clobbered in about 6 months towards the end of 2008. But many of those gold stocks in the last 2 months have tripled and quadrupled. There's actually gold stocks now making 52-week highs. There's not that many stocks that are doing that. So people are figuring out that this is an inflationary plan.
The only difference between salad and garbage is timing. Timing the gold buy. I'm in it. The closing bell is ringing in 19 minutes. Could taxpayers soon be the proud owners of some of this country's banks? No, outright ownership, nationalization. We've got a guest who says there is an alternative to nationalization. We'll tell you what that alternative is next. Stay tuned.
Everywhere around the world.